is up, VN owners? N-FullSend here. As you can tell, I have the bumper removed from my car again. That is because I have a mesh grill going on it. Now, if you're going to be doing the same thing after this video, go ahead and check out my other video, how to remove the bumper off our car, because you're going to need to do that. Now, I ordered a mesh grill from customcargrills.com, and Matt over there is excellent customer service. The dude's really good. He worked with me. Everything was easy. He caught some mistakes that I got like right off the bat. So I got to give a shout out to Matt. Now, I will be leaving the link in the description section below, so go ahead and check that out. But for now, let's hop right into this. Alright, as you can see my setup here, I have my sawhorses with some wood on top of there, and then I do have some styrofoam underneath the bumper so that I don't scratch up any paint. So now that I have it at my level so I can work on it more easily, this styrofoam piece right here, we're not going to need that. It will not go on when you have your mesh grill on. So there's a clip here and a clip here. Let's get to that. So what you're going to do is take your two fingers on either side, press them right up, it'll come right off. Just like that. Same thing with the other side. We've got that styrofoam piece off. I have it sitting upright. Our next thing we're going to do is take the upper splash guard off here. Now you have a screw right here, right there. You have another one right here and right here. So a total of 4. We're going to go ahead and take those off. And then up under here, we have clips that are holding it in. We're going to have to get to that. So let's go ahead and take these out. Okay. As you can tell, we got the screws out all the way across here. Now, these clips right here, they are a little tricky. As you can see, let me get this in focus here. I want to show you how it's clipped in. Now, you got this little retainer it's a little plastic piece that's putting pressure onto the clip itself. Now there's a little lip on the top side of this that is holding it in, as you can see there. So really what you need to do is just, you could use a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and pry on it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to mess up my plastic and scrape anything off. So what you can do is just take your thumb, push it in there, and you'll feel it release. You'll hear it. Just like that. See that? It's just a little bit of pressure. Now it's released, and I didn't have to use any tools to scrape up. And if you have trim tools, go ahead and use those, because that'll help with your scraping or getting paint off, whatever. So I just take my thumb, put it right in there, and it will release. It'll overcome the pressure of this plastic clip here that's pushing this up in there. So now that we got that one, we'll go ahead and do the rest of them. Alright, we got the upper splash guard off. Pretty simple. Now what we're going to do is take the weather stripping up here. We're going to take that off. You have these little white tabs here that are holding it in. I believe there's 12 of them right across here. Now the way we're going to take this off is we're going to put pressure up from the bottom here. We're going to try to push them up, and while pulling on your weather stripping. Just be very careful, because the way they're in here is, at the top inside of the weather stripping is kind of like a long T. So basically it is a T. It'll go up and then spread out. So it'll allow you to tug on it a little bit, but most of your pressure is going to come from underneath here to get these to pop out of the holes. And just be very careful, because you don't want to rip that weather stripping. So let's get to that. Okay guys, here's a little hack. If your fingers are starting to get a little sore, go ahead and get your trim tool, right? There's the thin guy here. Put your finger right on here. Kind of acts like a thimble, So just go ahead and put your thumb up under here. You'll feel the T part of the plastic. You're just gonna take your finger here, just pull it out. She's good. Alright, we got the weather stripping off. No tears in that. That's good. Now what we're going to move to is, when you take this off, it's going to expose these rivets, and we need to take those off. There's 6 of them that run down through here. Now what I'm going to do is use a drill bit. It's slightly bigger than the center. Now I'm going to go in as straight as I can, and that'll just take that rivet, it'll fall apart, you have no problems. There is another way you can do it. If you have a Dremel with a barrel sander on it, you can go ahead and sand the back part of this. The only reason I'm not doing that is because if I go too far and I start getting into the plastic, I don't want the structural integrity to be compromised on this clip for later install. So I'm just going to go ahead and drill it out. Let's drill this out. There it is, came off. On the back side, just pull right off. Maybe give it a little more. And there it is, completely out. And we have no burning on the other side if you do the barrel sander with your Dremel. So there you go. We got the rivets all drilled out. Next step is we're going to come down here. Now this black piece right here that's running through here has clips all the way around. We're going to have to take that off. As you can see over here, this piece right here, that's what we're going to have to take off next. So let's get to it. So we have these two tabs here. You got the black tab and the blue tab. What you're going to want to do is take your two fingers on the back side of it here on this ridge. Just put your two fingers right there. Put your left thumb right on this tab. What you're going to do is pull up. Then you got this blue tab. Same thing for the bottom. Two fingers on the back side of it. You're going to take your right thumb and you're going to be pressing down on this. So both of your thumbs are going away from each other while you're pulling with your four fingers out. And you'll see it and hear it release. Pull it, snap. And we're going to have to do that all the way down. Got it off. Pretty simple. Now what we're going to do is focus on these tabs here. These ones that run along right here. Now what that is your silver piece on the center here. We're going to have to go ahead and take this off. And it's those tabs on the other side. So these tabs here, they're a little more tension on pressing this tab up because you do have this plastic piece here. Now to overcome the tension on this, do not pry right here. Do not pry on that plastic. If you do, it might break right here. Unlike the other clips where we attacked it from this side, as a matter of fact, what we're going to do is go on the other side and I will show you how to get these tabs off with no tools, just your thumbs and just a little bit of pressure, and you're not going to break anything. So let's get on the other side. Okay, we're at the front. What you're going to want to do now is figure out where that tab is. I know there's a tab right here because I looked on the back side and it's right here. And what you're going to want to do is take your two thumbs and you're going to put pressure down on it. Your four fingers here, your index and middle fingers, are going to go up underneath and kind of pull out and up. So what we're going to do is push down with our thumbs, pull out and up with our four fingers here because there is nothing holding it on the bottom here. This is how you get these clips out without prying. Put your fingers here, your thumbs here, press down and pull out. You heard it snap. Now we're going to look for the other one. And she's right about here. So same thing, push down, twist up, you heard the snap, and we're going to do that with the rest of them and get this thing off. There it is, it's off. I will tell you, it requires a little more pressure with your thumbs pushing down on these two center ones. Just a little bit more pressure. Don't really pull up too much, just about as much as you did with the sides until it released. Really what you want to focus on this two center tabs here are pressure down. I don't want you to break these tabs completely off while trying to twist it up because it probably will break. Just a lot more pressure with your thumbs down on these two center ones. But it came out. Now we have exposed these two screws here and here. We're going to take those out and we almost have this grill out. Alright, we're on the back side of it again. What we have now are these tabs that run all the way around, and we're gonna have to take those. Up here we're good. We took the rivets out, we're on clip. As you can see, this is going to separate from there, but we do have clips that are running all the way around and we have to get to those. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take my bumper, flip it down, and we'll get right to it. Got it flipped down. What we're going to do now is start getting those clips that are all the way around. I'm going to start over here. This is where your tow hook hole is for your tow hook. That first tab right there, the first blue one, that's where I'm going to start, and then I'm going to go up through here, because down here we're already released. We don't have anything holding that in. Nothing there. So I'm just going to start up here. This is all the clips up here and on the side. So again, I'm just going to put my 2 fingers here, right behind the plastic. Right there's your tab. I'm going to go ahead and put my thumb. I'm going to push up away from the grill, and while pulling this way with, inward with these 2 fingers, and just using my thumb. There, it's released. We're going to go ahead and do the next one. Get your thumbs under there. Pops up. And we're going to do the rest of it. And this whole grill will come right out. Old grill is out. We're ready for the mesh grill. I will tell you, taking this out, when you're squeezing those tabs, some of them are really, really hard. So you just take two of your thumbs, just squeeze it really hard. You just got to really put some oomph into it. It did come out. We're going to go ahead and set that to the side, and we'll get the mesh grill and prep for install. Right here is the mesh grill. When you get this, receive it, you do get a sticker, which is cool. You got his Matt's card right here. Now he explains this is the top, right? So this is the top of the bumper. This is going to face the front. So as you can see, I have my bumper laying this way, so the front is actually down towards the bottom. Now what we're going to need to do, and you see it's labeled bottom. Now the front is labeled front because as you can see, these are bent in like this. Really, how you're going to want to put this onto the bumper is flip it around so that the bent side is going towards the front of the car, away from the engine bay. So, you're going to go ahead and put it down, something like this, and I'll show you here. But the bent part right here is going towards the front of the car. So let's get that prepped. It's laid down in here. Now you're going to have to work this a little bit. You're going to have to get these clips to clip in to the cuts where the manufacturer had cut them. It's just simple little adjustments, nothing too big. As you see over here, we're going to have to adjust. I just started over here. I started on the right. I don't know why. I just do. You can start on the left if you want to. But I'm going to go ahead and feed this around, make sure it's all in, and then we'll get right back to it. It's on. So you're just going to adjust for the clips here. Honestly, it's no big deal. It was really easy. You can see they all clipped in here from the cuts the manufacturer did. You're just going to have to work it a little bit. But, yeah, it's all good, man. So let's go to the front and see how this thing looks. Boom. Look at that. Next, what we're going to want to do is go ahead and pick yourself up some epoxy resin that's good for metal and plastic. It'll adhere to the metal and the plastic. So basically what we're going to do is go ahead and take that epoxy resin where the metal meets the bumper, and we're going to go ahead and spot it, or if you have enough, you can just lay a bead all the way around. We want to be sure that we don't lose this grill. Say you're on autocross and you happen to hit a cone, and it hits the front. You really don't want this mesh coming out because then you have to do some more work with it. God forbid you hit a cone. I hope you don't. I've never hit a cone yet, and hopefully I never will, knock on wood. But I went ahead and got some JB Weld epoxy resin. I'm going to go ahead and just spot it right around here and make sure that this grill stays in on the track and the highway. Now we're going to go ahead and install that silver piece. It will clip into the mesh grill here. It does it really nice. So the epoxy is curing right now. We have that center silver piece on. we're going to go ahead and take this black back piece that we had previously taken off. We're just going to line it up with the tabs, and we're going to snap that in. We're all snapped in. Everything lined up really good. Easy to push on. Snaps, just clips in. You can hear it. So the grill looks really good. I can't even tell you how good it looks. So the next step might intimidate you a little bit, but you're going to have to do this. If you remember, there's a big plastic piece here that's part of the grill. Now this is this upper part that our splash guard snaps into. We will have to cut this off, this upper part right here, to make the inside of our bumper here structurally sound, and so that it'll clip into that upper splash guard. I have my Dremel set up. What I'm going to do is enter right here, right at the corner. I'm going to go ahead and follow the bend line right here all the way across until I get that piece off. We got it cut off. It's pretty straight as I could get it, but we really do need this part. Just go ahead and follow that line that I was telling you to. It's not that difficult, honestly. Don't get intimidated, honestly. So now what you're going to want to do is take this part that you just cut off, and we're going to put this onto the upper part of the bumper here. Now, to get this lined up, go ahead and line up your holes for your rivets that we're in. So make sure all your rivet holes are lined up so that you can either, if you have a rivet gun, you can go ahead and put another rivet in it. You could also put some screws, or if you have small enough bolts and nuts, you can put them in to hold that in position. Either way. Also, what we're also going to do is take the epoxy and go ahead and put it on the ridge here, on this upper ridge. We're going to put epoxy there just so that it holds it in place, because there is no clips down here anymore to hold it in. But you know, you can go ahead and just rivet back in, screws, bolts, whatever you want to do. But go ahead and just put some epoxy. If you do, like, you know, secure the upper part, just go ahead and put some epoxy down here at the bottom so that it stays in. What I did do is use epoxy on the ridges like I was telling you about. But then I went ahead and put some screws in all the way up to the top here just to make it a little more stout. To install the weather strip, we're going to have to install the upper splash guard first. Now this just clips into spot. Now if you remember, when we took this apart, it was just clips on the top part. So we're just going to go ahead and clip these in, and then we'll get to that weather strip. Upper splash guard is installed now. We only have 4 screws to put in. If you remember, we took those 4 screws out right here, 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 and here. We're going to go ahead and put those screws in, and then we're going to install that weather strip. So when you put the weather stripping on, you're going to notice this little flap here. There's a little access over here. Now this is going to go overlap your splash guard here. So when we plug in this little plastic lug, we're going to go ahead and put that in there, and you'll notice the profile, because we're on the left side facing the top, right? You can see it's nice and neat. Everything is really cut straight. Seams are good. So the flap of it is going to go overlap the splash guard. Now, like I said before when we were taking this off, do not remove the rubber from the T. Just go ahead and remove it from the holes here. And you're just going to go ahead and plug that in there, right there. You're going to hear it click. Push it in. Push it in. And we're going to do that. Make sure that the overlay is on top here of your splash guard, and yeah, that's how you install that. Got the car pulled back into the garage, bumpers ready to go. I'm telling you, this grill looks amazing. There's only one modification that I'm going to do to this grill, and we're going to get to it right now. I do live in a state that requires, by law, the front plate. Now, I do have that tow hook mounted license plate bracket. We are going to need to cut a hole in this brand new mesh grill. I know, and Matt, don't hate me, man, but I really have to do it by law. I don't think it's going to jeopardize the integrity of the grill. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut a little hole here. You can see where the crash bar has the hole for it, the threads. We're just going to cut a little hole here, and I'll show you how to do it. I mean, obviously we've cut some stuff off today to make stuff work, and yeah, we're going to do it again, and we're almost done, guys. So I got it marked out where I'm going to cut. It's just going to be a few simple cuts here. What I do have is a diamond blade on my Dremel, and we're just going to do a few cuts, and I'll show you after I cut it what it looks like, and I'll put my plate back on there. Perfect. Look at that. Marked it great. And honestly, it was just a little piece. This is all we had to cut out of it. Just that little bit. Now, what I am concerned with is, you know, the exposed metal. I will go ahead and seal that up with some primer and Rust-Oleum, and so that, you know, it doesn't rust out, and then paint it black. So there you go. That's how you install a mesh grill. I picked this up from customcargrills.com. Matt is doing some really good stuff. I mean, the profile on this is just beautiful. It's flat, straight, everything is good on it. Now we did customize a little bit, but I mean, come on, don't get discouraged on cutting and gluing. I showed you how to do it. It's really simple. Anyone can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. But I mean, damn, Matt nailed it. All right, so go ahead and check out that link. I do plan on doing an intercooler, but I'm talking to some people about where I can get the best intercooler. I'm leaning towards 6 Element because they get rid of the factory crash bar, and it's a little thinner, and there's more airflow, and the engine loves airflow when you have a turbo car with an intercooler and intake. It just feeds off air, man. Just press it in there, it'll burn it up. But anyway, hey, I'm N-FullSend, and as always, you guys drive safe.